Should you buy a dynamic microphone if you're on a budget? Let's find out. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video of FireResolve. In today's video, I'm going to be answering the lifelong question of should you buy a dynamic microphone if you're on a budget? So before we start the video, I'm going to explain to you guys why people recommend buying a dynamic microphones if you're on a budget. The first reason being that dynamic microphones are cheaper than condenser microphones. The second reason is that dynamic microphones don't require 48-volt phantom power or any kind of power because they can just connect to a mixer and you're good to go. The third reason being that they reject background noise very well and they work in an acoustically untreated room. So those are the reasons why people recommend buying a microphone if you're on a budget. So what do I think? I actually agree with it, but you have to proceed with caution. Now let me explain why I mean by proceed with caution. Let's take two cheap dynamic microphones, the Samson Q2U and the Rode PodMic, paired up with the same cheap interface, the Altron XU2. Now the Samson Q2U will work fine, will work fantastic, but the Rode PodMic won't. Why? Because Rode PodMic, along with most other dynamic microphones, are gain hungry. Now what I mean by gain hungry is that they require your interface to be pushed all the way up, meaning that the preamps will be pushed all the way up, meaning that the self noise will also increase, meaning that you have a lot of noise now. Now the main purpose you bought a dynamic microphone is to reject background noise, right? But what's the purpose of it if you're just gonna increase the self noise and there's just gonna be noise anyway? So the reason I say that proceed with caution is because, in my opinion, 80% of dynamic microphones today are gain hungry. So why do people still recommend dynamic microphones if you're on a budget? Because they think we have a expensive interface. Not really, they think we have a standard interface, but in reality, we actually have a cheap interface like the Altron XU2 or the Behringer UM2. And if you have a Scarlett 2i2 or a PreSonus Studio 24C, then go ahead, buy dynamic microphones, you're fine. But for most of us with a cheap interface, be very careful when picking a dynamic microphone, okay? Don't pick microphones that are gain hungry. Research, and do thorough research about your dynamic microphone you're gonna get into. Research whether they are gain hungry or not. Because I actually fell into this trap once. I bought the Q2U, very pleasant with it. I love it so much because it's not that gain hungry. But then I bought the Rode PodMic in hopes for a better dynamic microphone, but then it just generates more noise, more and more noise, very loud noise. And the reason being is that yeah, I boost the gain all the way up to get the same levels, meaning the self noise will increase. And I did not know this because people don't disclose this in videos. They don't say that microphones are gain hungry or not. They only say it's gain hungry if it's a Shure SM7B. But everyone knows that. But no one knows that the Procaster is gain hungry. No one knows that even the PodMic is gain hungry. But they are. And when I say proceed with caution, I mean proceed with extra caution. Be very careful, especially if you're on a budget, you don't have a lot to spend on a microphone. Be very careful which one you pick. Now luckily for you guys, I have picked some microphones for you guys to choose. The first is Samson Q2U, second is Audio-Technica ADR 2100, and third is the Shure SM58, fourth is the Shure SM57. Yeah, those are the four main ones I can recommend if you're on a budget and you have a cheap interface. But if you don't have a cheap interface, just go ahead and buy whatever dynamic microphone you want because it will work fine. So that's basically a very quick explanation on why I say proceed with caution when buying a dynamic microphone if you're on a budget, because most of us and most of you guys have a cheap interface which does not work with most of the microphones because they are gain hungry. And yeah, proceed with caution. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you find this beneficial. It's not really an informative video. I just want to tell you based on experience that you really gotta proceed with caution when buying a dynamic microphone. So yeah, you really need to be very careful when picking a dynamic microphone if you're on a budget. Pick the right one, choose smartly, do your thorough research just like in school. My name is FireResolve. Peace.